Welcome to EO Systems Photo Modeler Scanner. Photo Modeler Scanner is a software product that uses photographs to generate detailed 3D models of objects and scenes. Photo Modeler Scanner is built on the award-winning Photo Modeler product. Photo Modeler Scanner contains all the capabilities of Photo Modeler, plus the ability to scan surfaces to produce dense point clouds and meshes. The Photo Modeler Scanner specific tutorials, of which this is the first, deal mostly with the scanning aspect or the dense surface model feature. For the other aspects of modeling, setting up projects, use of the interface, etc., please view the Photo Modeler tutorials. In this introductory tutorial for Photo Modeler Scanner, we will quickly review the steps to create a dense surface model. We create a dense point cloud and a meshed surface of a simple but well-known object, a cookie. We start with a project that is already set up, processed, and idealized. For information on marking points, referencing, processing, and idealizing projects, please see the help file or other tutorials. Other scanner tutorials describe the steps and parameters in more detail. Here, our goal is to show the end result. The surface of a cookie is a complex shape and is not easily modeled with other techniques. Although it is a small object, the same method applies to large objects and scenes, such as stockpiles, rock walls, building facades, etc. Here, we have two photographs of a cookie done with the coded targets. We have a 3D viewer displaying the solved points and the solved camera stations. The requirements for a project to work well with Scanner are: it must be a good quality, low residual project. It must be calibrated and idealized. You can see the typical black borders of an idealized project. The photographs should be in a stereo or near to parallel orientation. And the object should have a random natural texture, as we can see in this background and on the object itself. Lastly, the scene should not change or move between photographs. In this photograph, we have a trim to define the area to scan. Trims are discussed in greater detail in other tutorials. We open the DSM dialog. The top part of the dialog tells us something about the project. The middle part lets us choose which photographs to run. They run in pairs. We'll process just photographs 1 and 2, which are the top view-down photographs. Press the Execute button, and the DSM process runs. It scans the surface to get matches and computes the 3D points on a grid. You can see it created a point cloud of approximately 3,000 points. Let's review the results more closely. Here you can see the surface points that have been extracted from the cookie and the background. Using these two photographs, 1 and 2. We can show these individual points colored from one of the photographs. Let's zoom out so you can see better. You can see we have gaps between the top surface of the cookie and the background, and this is due to the steep sides not being imaged well from the top-down views. Photos 3 and 4 are an example of another pair of photographs that, being at an angle and straight on to the vertical edge of the cookie, will fill in one of these gaps. We'll run DSM again, but with both pairs, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And a denser grid of points that have a spacing of 1 sample per millimeter. We'll run all of the meshing steps except for contouring. Skipping to the end, we see our new result. Each pair of photographs produced approximately 11,000 points, and the final mesh has approximately 34,000 triangles. Let's look at the meshed result. First, we'll turn off the point clouds which are stored in this layer by default. You can see our textured result here. And then we'll show the wireframe. And the shaded result. You can also perform some measurements on meshes. We open the measure pane and click on our point mesh. You can see that the center of the mesh's bounding box is displayed. The bounding box's size in the 3 dimensions and the volume of the object above the XY plane, which is the background in this case. We see that our cookie is approximately 38 cubic centimeters, or about 1/10 of a cup in volume. We demonstrated a simple project and a summary of the steps needed to produce a dense point mesh in PhotoModeler Scanner. This concludes the introductory tutorial to PhotoModeler Scanner.